You know, when it comes to negotiations, you really should check out your case, especially when you're sitting across the table from Donald Trump. Because the one thing he does do well is hardcore negotiations. So Donald Trump is facing a deadline on Monday to post a $454 million bond in the civil fraud case against him in New York. Well, he can't raise the money. His lawyer said it was practical impossibility. And the press and everybody else, oh, Letitia James, she's got to go after him. She's got to take his stuff. Oh, I think Donald Trump is waiting for her to take his stuff. Really? Really? Now, this is a guy who loves New York. He was popular in New York for many reasons, one of which is the guy actually really loved New York and did things that weren't necessarily beneficial for him monetarily, like, rebuilding the ice rink after the city spent a decade trying to fix it. He finally came in and fixed it all and did it in 8 months. So he loves the city. But you know what? You're going to kick me to the curb? Okay, that's fine. Now, he was ordered to pay $454 million. That's more than anyone has ever been charged with. Nobody has ever been told they have to kick up a $454 million bond, let alone in just 30 days. Okay? So what has she been saying? Well, that's fine. You don't do it. You don't pony up with that. Then we can seize your assets in 30 days. Okay? This bond number has never been issued before. No insurance bond company has ever issued anything near this. So there's really no chance of this happening, and only giving them 30 days notice? All right. So Donald Trump is calling their bluff. Okay, take my property. Go ahead, take Trump Tower. Do you know what that's going to do to New York? You seize Donald Trump's property because he can't cough up the bond. Go ahead. Now let's look towards the future. How are you going to sell that thing? What happens if he wins an appeal and you've sold his property? Is he going to sue the state to get the money that it should have been worth? Okay, what happens if he wins on appeal on the bond and you have his property? What happens, even more importantly, because this is no longer about Donald Trump, and this is where Donald Trump has his power seat at the negotiating table. He's so smart. He's sitting there and he's saying, oh, yeah, you think you're going to hurt me. No, you know what you're really going to hurt? New York. Because you can't just take someone's property because you don't like them politically. In a case like this that has never, ever, never come before the court before, where they've taken somebody's business. I mean, real crime has happened, and they have charged people under the same charges that he was tried under, and they didn't lose anything. Okay? Really? Really? Okay, so that sends the message to the rest of the business world. You disagree with the attorney general or the governor, and they'll destroy you and your company. Good. There's a great article that's out in our show prep today from the Shark Tank guy, Kevin O'Leary. Listen to this. He said, think about this, America. The reason this is the number one economy on earth is that we have laws, we have due process, and we have property rights. That's what attracts foreign capital from all over the world. Now, foreign capital outside of China buying up all the farmland, where is that foreign capital going? Mainly to cities like New York City. They buy big buildings. All of that's being shaken to the core here. The concept of seizing assets in 30 days There is no chance that's going to happen. And this is a really bad message. New Yorkers should think well past Trump, whether he's president or not, or whether the attorney general is gone in 4 years. That's irrelevant. This is case setting against the American brand, the most stable country on earth anywhere to put capital to work over a long period of time, especially in real estate. This is an assault on what we believe to the core. It's an attack on America, and I don't know how you can look at it any other way. And as an investor, I know plenty of investors who are completely disturbed by this. But I mean, no one's going to put any money to work in New York in these amounts until this thing settles down. The whole world is watching, and everybody's waiting for the one thing they haven't got yet: adult supervision. Where is it? Where are the adults in this crazy narrative? Certainly, there's got to be adult supervision at some point. And I understand, the war going on here is all political, yada, yada, woof, woof. But we need an adult in the room now. This is the United States of America under siege, end quote. It's pretty powerful and right. So let me just tie that with this story. A suspected squatter who allegedly took over $1 million Queens home, that's Queens, New York, is now subletting space to the house. Kevin Ballasty said he was conned into paying $1,500 a month to live in the basement of a Flushing home, with the deal made with Jay, who he identified as the squatter first exposed by WABC TV. This is a story that was in yesterday's show prep about the squatter. Okay, now the squatter is subletting the home. Here's what happened yesterday, in case you didn't get the newsletter at glennbeck.com. Yesterday, there was a story from WABC that talked about this woman and her daughter that were away. They come back. She opens up the door, and the guy says, "What the hell are you doing in my house?" And she's like, "What the hell are you doing in my house?" All of her furniture, everything is there. She calls the police. The police kick them out. They say, "You cannot change the locks. That's against the state law of New York. You can't change the locks. Otherwise, he can take you to court." She's like, he's squatting in my house. I have a daughter. I'm a woman. I'm going to change the locks. The police say, "Don't do it. You're going to break the law." The next day, she has the locks changed. He comes back, tries to open the door. It's locked. He doesn't have a key. And what happens? He goes back to the same police, brings them back to the house, and now she's in court. He's suing her. So now the squatter is subletting her house. Is there any right to property in New York at all? You couple this with the story about Donald Trump, what do you think is going to happen to New York? I'm telling you right now, what I told my kids 7 years ago, oh my gosh, has it been, it's been 10 years, I think. And I said to my kids at the time, before any of this was happening, this city is going to burn itself to the ground. This city is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be escape from New York. It's only a matter of time. We're leaving. Dad, you're always so dramatic. Well, watch. Look what's happened to New York. Would you want to live in New York? Do you want to own property in New York? They could offer me the Trump Tower for $10. James could come to me and say, "Glenn, I just seized this. It's only $10. You buy it free and clear. It's yours." No freaking way, man. No way. I'm not just worried about how I'd be losing $10 because in an appeal, he can take that back and then I'm in court with you. No. But here's what it really says. I don't want to own any property in New York City because they're going to continue to tax the rich to death. Property owners are going to be the worst people to have ever lived. Anybody who rents out any space is going to become a robber baron. The city is going to get more and more corrupt, more and more dangerous for people who just want to live. The school systems are absolute crap. The city is now suing the bus company that is bringing in the immigrants, suing the bus company, not suing the Biden administration. No. Not trying to stop that influx. No. Suing the bus company while New York and JFK and LaGuardia, those are the biggest end destinations for people this government are allowing to board a plane without any documentation and come into this country as an illegal immigrant. The government is endorsing it. In many cases, we're flying them to New York for free on your dollar. You're going to live in New York? Good luck with that. Good luck with that. If you're listening in New York and you agree with anything that I'm saying here, think deeply. I know your family is there. I grew up here. My family is here. All of that that you grew up with ain't coming back soon. These people won't get it until they've destroyed absolutely everything. I honestly believe that's their plan. Destroy everything. Get out. Escape from New York.